Councilman Woodford,
Present.
Councilman Henry, Mayor Shelton,
Here.
Vice Mayor Epps,
Here.
Councilman Womack,
Here.
4 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite those that wish to do so to stand for the invocation and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag. Lord, thank you for this day and for your many blessings. Pray that your wisdom and guidance upon each one of us tonight as we make decisions for our city. Lord, pray your continued blessings upon this city. In your name we pray and ask it. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item 3, consider approval of agenda as presented.
Yeah, no changes. Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Okay, item 4A, consider appointment to the Cookeville Tree Board. And that would be, on behalf of the Cookeville Tree Board, submit approval for the following to fill a vacant position on the tree board. That was being vacated by Mary Dale Summers, who's faithfully served the board and finished her appointed term and has chosen to end her tenure. I will nominate Mr. Sam Sandlin. Do I have a second?
Second.
All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to recognize the Cookeville Performing Arts Center for award received from the Tennessee Theater Association. So I will read this now. We're very happy to recognize members of the cast and crew of the Cookeville Performing Arts Center production of Other Desert Cities by John Robin Bates. This play was awarded Best Production by a Community Theater at the recent Tennessee Theater Association Conference and chosen to represent the state of Tennessee at the Southeastern Theater Conference in Chattanooga in the spring of 2015. Director Dave Johnson, stage manager Marie Ferran, Liv Sinclair, lighting and sound technician, and cast members Kim Frickwelker, Sam Raper, Mary Boring, Matt Wilson, and Richard Lawson. Producer Chad McDonald. We thank you for sharing your talents with our community and for representing Cookeville and the state of Tennessee throughout the Southeast region. We're very proud of your accomplishments in this outstanding production and wish you a break a leg at the regional level. I'd like to point out that this is one of several quality CPAC shows that have been recognized statewide and regionally. 10 of the last 15 years, shows produced by Leisure Services at CPAC have won the play competition at the state level and have also received 24 other awards ranging from Best Actor and Best Director to Best Scenic Design and Best Sound Design. Cookeville is recognized as a community of quality performing arts throughout our region. Congratulations to the cultural arts staff at CPAC and to all volunteers who work on stage and backstage to make quality community theater that is accessible, affordable, and enjoyable. Could we ask those folks to stand up, please, that are here tonight?
Take a bow.
Thank you so much. And this is the plaque they received. We'll be displaying that at CPAC. Would Dave or Chad, would you like to say a couple of words? Come up to the lectern. Yeah, you can come up to the lectern there.
Or you can face the crowd if you want to.
Can
Face the crowd. He needs an audience.
He wants the front. That's great.
He wanted to say.
Really? I get to say something? They actually turned the microphone over to me? That was a mistake. No, thanks to Chad, and I really would like to express our appreciation to the city of Cookeville for all of the support. We really have a good time, and we work really hard. This cast has worked extremely hard on this show, and it takes a lot of effort to go to the state level and do the festival and all of the stuff that has to be done in order to do that. So I personally, and I think I speak for the cast, couldn't thank the city enough for all of the support that we get at the Department of Leisure Services. And Rick Woods, he's the one who I think came up with this with the Drama Center Backstage series, and it continues to just move forward with great success. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I've got a special recognition tonight. Got a couple of people I'd like to introduce. Was eating at Blue Coast Burrito the other night. My family and I were, and my daughter's teacher, Sharon Smith, was there, and her sister, Tamby, was also there, and they have two guests with them, and I'm gonna read a little bit about them. Two foreign exchange students are with us. Jacqueline Rodriguez, she's a teacher in Brazil. She teaches high school students and was chosen to bring 15 students to Cookeville from Brazil to study English. And she says she's very glad to be here. It's a nice city, and they've all been well received. And also, Reiko Tajima, she's from Tokyo, Japan. She works as an engineering consulting company, and she received her PhD in seismology. So she analyzes and simulates natural phenomena like earthquakes, tsunamis, and wind that surround man-made structures. And she's here in Cookeville to learn to speak and communicate English better. So I invited them to come to our council meeting tonight, and if y'all would like to come up and just say a word or two, you can. If not, we understand. Maybe you haven't learned enough English yet to go there. So, but I do have a little gift I want to give you. Give you a little welcome to the city. Here's the key to the city. It only opens our hearts. Doesn't open anything else that we do welcome you. And a little gift bag for you there. And then one for you as well. And then something for all your students. So a lapel pin to take back that says Cookeville. Welcome to Cookeville. Thank you. All right, item 5, old business. Consider approval of minutes of council meeting held on October 16th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Okay, item 6, consent agenda. We're setting a date for 3 public hearings, and that will be December 4th. Do I need to read those 3 items? No? Okay. We'll notify when those are ready.
5:30 p.m.
5:30 p.m. Item 7, new business. Hold a public hearing.
Oh, you got to vote.
I'm sorry. Motion?
I'll vote for that. So moved.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right, item 7, new business. Hold a public hearing and consider on first reading ordinance 0141-017, rezoning 2082 North Willow Avenue from RS-15 single-family residential to CL local commercial. Cookeville Planning Commission denied this rezoning request on 8/25/14, and the property owners, Helen Masters Burgess and David Masters, are appealing the decision to the City Council. Mr. James Mills. Oh, we have a stand-in for Mr. Mills. Mr. Young.
Thank you. Mayor and council members, this ordinance would rezone from RS-15 single-family residential to CL local commercial property located at 2082 North Willow. And I'll show you, here's an overview of where it is in the city. There's a specific site, and there's existing zoning. The request was initiated by the property owners, David Masters and Helen Masters Burgess. The Planning Commission, as you stated, denied this at the August meeting, and they subsequently asked that you consider this. This is on tax map 40. It's parcel 9. It's got about 26.6 acres. As you can see, it's contiguous to CL on the eastern side, RS-15 on the other sections. To the north is Shepherd Hills Estates subdivision, and to the west is Sherwood Estates. South, where the RS-15 is large undeveloped tract. Our land use plan, which I'll show you, this aerial view, shows this is best suited for low-density residential. So the requested zoning does not comply with our long-range plan. We've been contacted by several adjacent owners that are opposed to this. They've expressed concerns about land use compatibility, the impact of the rezoning, and development on surface drainage, stormwater and traffic. And the planning department recommends denial. And as we noted before, the planning commission did deny it in August.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Do we have a motion?
Motion to deny the appeal.
Second.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
Mr. Young, what was on the planning commission? I don't know if you mentioned this or not. What was the vote for the?
It was unanimously.
It was
against.
unanimously decided to
Yes.
deny. Okay, deny that change. Okay, thank you.
If the motion was made for denial, so as opposed to just a motion to put it on the table and then vote against, so actually when we do vote, it will have to be a yes vote to vote for the denial, correct?
According to Robert's rules, you really should only make motions in the affirmative. So what you're looking for is a motion to approve it, and then if no one
Right.
makes such a motion, then the matter will fail for the lack of a motion and second.
So we either need to withdraw the motion and second to get into the proper
point.
Robert's Rules of Order.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay. Okay.
So you're looking as chairman for a
Correct.
motion in the affirmative.
So now looking for a motion in the affirmative and so that we can discuss and then vote on it.
If there is no motion, then the matter will fail for lack of a motion.
Correct. So is there any motion? All right.
So
Motion
then the
fails.
matter fails.
Matter fails. Okay, 7B, consider authorizing the city manager to enter an agreement with Cookeville Community Playground Organization allowing the construction of a playground in Dogwood Park. Mr. Rick Woods.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's several slides there I'll get through. Mayor, members of council, as you know, we've been working toward building a playground in Dogwood Park, and a volunteer community organization has taken up that cause, and they're represented here this evening by Kelly Swallows and Ashley Swan. And they are gung-ho and ready to raise funds and build excitement and make it a reality, and we're excited about that. They have formed a nonprofit corporation, and I am requesting tonight for your approval to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with that nonprofit organization, giving them permission and authority to construct a playground on the city property. This agreement makes available a portion of Dogwood Park for the construction of the playground by the corporation. It will outline approximate size and location within Dogwood Park and requires city approval of the exact location and design of the playground. It requires the corporation to raise necessary funds to purchase and construct the playground. It outlines that the city will provide the site preparation. It requires the playground to meet all appropriate engineering and architectural codes, specifications, and requirements, including during the installation, and provides the city with the ability to stop the project installation for any violations. It requires the corporation to provide insurances naming the city as additional insured, and it outlines the city as the owner with sole responsibility for ongoing maintenance and sole determination of the future use of the playground and the land within Dogwood Park. We're excited about this. I think this is a great first step, and I would recommend your approval.
All right, so do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anyone on council want to speak to the motion?
Mr. Mayor, we need to clarify that some of the terms haven't been fully negotiated, so it would be a motion
negotiating
to have
time.
yes, sir.
Do we
Exactly.
need to make that part? Do we need to make that as an
What are the
amendment to the
terms that
motion?
haven't been?
Motion to authorize the city manager to enter into agreement.
To negotiate
negotiate and
and
enter.
sign.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to authorize the city manager to negotiate an agreement with the community group.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
What were the Mr. Mayor, if you would, what were some of the items that
There
were
are just a few of the legal terms to be sure that the city is protected with respect to insurance and inspections and things like that. It should be fairly standard, but we want to be sure that the motion is not to enter the agreement necessarily from the bullet point list, but to negotiate and then enter the agreement.
But it's things within the bullet point.
Yes, the
Yeah.
bullet points
Yeah.
should all be included.
do we?
It's,
Do we need to have any, like a special amendment motion to speak to that to make sure that?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so either. It'll get done. Okay.
I'm in favor of this tremendously. I remember the old Kids Kingdom that was adjacent to the YMCA. How many years ago was that? 15 years ago at least. And that was a nice thing. It's just that it wasn't built to last, and it deteriorated to some extent. This looks like what y'all are talking about will be more durable and can last a long time, and it'd be good for our kids. The gem of our city is Dogwood Park, and anything we can do to enhance Dogwood Park for kids, because I've seen so many people there during the summer enjoying the fountain, and to have this adjacent to that, it'll just be a magnet to bring people in to this city.
Yeah, appreciate your efforts on raising the money for that, and that it's going to be fully handicap accessible. I think is a very important and vital part for our community, that people of all abilities will be able to use it and enjoy it. So applaud your efforts on that.
Accessible and interactive. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll have the ability for not only handicapped children to be able to have access to it, but to actually access and play side by side with the kids. Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful things about this playground.
Kelly and Ashley, I appreciate y'all's leadership and passion for this. Being a new grandfather, I realize there's a lot of young people in our community, and this is access to a great part of our city. It's a quality of life issue. It's going to be free of charge, and I think greatly utilized when finished. Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Good.
Ladies, next week we need to sit down with the attorney. A little details.
All right. Very good. All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, but just there is a design date is coming up when?
Next Thursday,
Next-
right now, 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay, so you guys probably
Thursday, 13th, 5:30, 7:30 at Cookeville High School Auditorium, right?
Great.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Item 7C, consider approval of construction, engineering, and inspection agreement for the Rails with Trails project from Cookeville to Algood. Sponsor Greg Brown.
Mayor and council, earlier in the year, we advertised for proposals to provide construction, engineering, inspection services for the trail that between the depot here in Cookeville and the ball fields in Algood. We evaluated proposals, negotiated the price. Reagan Smith is who we selected and agreed on a price. This services will include inspection, contract management, basically following all the rules that TDOT requires to use their money. So I would recommend approval for the contract with Reagan Smith in the amount of $229,487.37.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the contract with Reagan Smith.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anyone on council want to speak to the motion?
well, I mean, I just want to speak the fact this thing's been a long time coming, and I ask this every time to Melinda and everybody else, but this is just another hurdle that we have to get over, and for those folks out there that, there's a lot of naysayers out there that are really are out there that really feel like that this is just not going to get done. It's going to get done. It's going to get done. It's just taking a while, and it's just another step, just one other step, and we're going to get there. Please just be patient. Let's get started.
Greg, is this the last step as far as doing the paperwork and getting everything agreed to?
We have to get a notice to
TDOT?
proceed from TDOT so we can bid the project. We're ready to bid it. And
So once this is signed and we vote for it, then you can send that off and start accepting bids or put
well,
out.
as soon as we get the notice to proceed from TDOT, we'll be ready to advertise for construction bids,
Okay.
Great.
which should happen any day.
Very good. Any other comments?
Great.
All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
7D, consider approval to purchase 6 Stalker Radars, sole source on state contract. Sponsor Chief Evans.
Mayor and Council, just ask this evening that you consider approval of the purchase of 6 Stalker Radar units. They are on statewide contract. They are dash-mounted radar units. We're paying for these through a Governor's Highway Safety Office grant under the Alcohol Countermeasures Grant. The cost per unit is $1,750.80 for a total cost of $10,504.80, and I recommend your approval.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Okay, also 7E, consider approval of software maintenance contracts with Southern Software, also sole source. Chief Evans.
Mayor and Council, just ask you to consider approval of our software maintenance contracts. We currently use Southern Software for all of our record management system, our CAD system, and our mobile data. It is a budgeted item, and this renews the contract through November of next year. The cost for the mobile data is $18,750. Record management system is $13,231. The computer-aided dispatch is $7,319 for a total of $39,300, and I recommend your approval.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
7F, consider approval of upgrade for the new handheld meter reading devices, also sole source. Mike Davidson.
Mayor and council members, the devices the meter readers use to obtain meter readings and input those into the little handheld computers. Those devices, we have 7 of them. They're 7 years old, and the support for those devices is ending in February 2015. And so after that, we will not be able to have any software support with those, and even buying parts to replace and work on them. We'll be struggling to get parts for those. We have worked for 21 years with Northrop Grumman Utility System Solutions with their handheld devices. Their latest system is the Versaterm LX system. It's a much faster processor, more memory. It's got a camera in it. It has GPS capabilities. But I'm requesting that we can upgrade to those newer devices. The cost to upgrade is $28,007. That includes the handheld devices, the software that we need, all the charging and base stations, everything that we need with those. I would also ask that the existing 7 units that we have, we declare those as surplus. They will give us a trade-in credit for those. So I would ask you to declare those 7 units as surplus. We did budget these funds in the 2014-15 budget, but I would recommend your approval.
So we have a motion? And before we make that, do we need to make a motion, part of the motion, to declare the other 7 surplus as part of this motion?
I believe so, yes.
All right, so the motion would be consider approval of upgrade of the new meter reading devices and declare the old ones surplus to be traded in.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
7G, consider authorizing the city manager to execute an easement to Upper Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation to install electric lines and poles at Bob Gentry Road and Old Stewart Road area. Jim Shipley.
Mayor and Council, this is pursuant to the Academy Sports Project. Upper Cumberland Electric is being required to move some electric lines. Some of it, they have to move it on our property along Bob Gentry Road and what's the other? Anyway, one of those other roads.
Old School. Yeah.
And Upper Cumberland wanted us to just sort of give them blanket approval to get on our property and put their poles, but we did have it surveyed and had it marked. So that is what this easement does, is allow them to put those poles on designated pieces of property.
Very good. We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
7H, consider approval of waiver of 10% penalty for late payment on Cookeville Boat Dock Road Utility District's water bill due to a leak. Ronnie Kelly.
Mayor and Council, this is a request from the Cookeville Boat Dock Road Utility District. They have, and you've got a letter in your packet, they've had a couple of unexpected main breaks the last September and October of this year. And per the contract, or let me show you their bill first. Their normal bill, their charges, they used 35 million gallons this past month. Last October, same bill, they used 16 million. So they had a couple big line breaks. And their bills has gone up to $80,000 this month. They wanted to know if we could help them do anything. By contract, they can't spread out, or they have to pay their bill each month, or they have a 10% penalty. So by contract, and that's in this memo, I told them I would request, see if the council would be gracious enough to waive that penalty and spread that out for the delta between the high bill and what a normal bill would be over a 6-month period. And so that's their request.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve spreading it out over 6 months and waive the 10% penalty.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? This does not reduce the amount that they owe as far as the actual waste of the water. It only negates the penalty for that period.
That's correct.
Okay. Any other discussion? All vote.
Thank
4
you.
yes votes, motion carries.
7I, consider awarding bid for personal protective equipment. Chief Fuquay.
Mayor, Council, we submitted bids for 11 sets of personal protective equipment for the fire department. We only received one bid, NAVCO, for $19,763.04, and it does meet specs, and I recommend approval.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, item 8, citizens wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Do we have anybody that would like to address the council? No? All right. Any comments from our council members, city manager?
Got homecoming this weekend at Tech, big weekend. So, go Tech.
Also have a note up here, Mistletoe Market is this weekend at Leslie Town Center. Looks like Friday and Saturday. Benefits the Cookeville animals, Cookeville Putnam County animals.
Might also want to remind everybody that power is going to go off.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. There'll be another power outage at midnight for approximately 1 hour tonight for TVA to fix the... Yes, it's not the city of Cookeville.
Could Mr. Peak maybe talk about that just a little bit?
You want your power or not?
Mayor and council, I had the pleasure, at least this morning, of telling everyone that called that it wasn't our fault. As you know, about 7:45 this morning, TVA lost power to probably 80% of our total customers, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000. Had those customers off for 2 hours. And you can imagine what kind of mess that made on the city streets with everybody trying to get to school and to work and those kind of things. I will have to say, though, in my many years of employment with the city, I can never remember an outage where TVA had Cookeville off that long. That was extremely rare. They've been working all day to find out what the problem was. This problem occurred at the 161 kV station at CC Camp Road at Cane Creek Park, and it turned out it was a lightning arrestor. It's a device that takes lightning surges off the line before they damage equipment, and apparently over the months or years in the past, this lightning arrestor has sustained damage. And what they're going to do tonight at about 12:01 a.m. is take the station down, which will cut the power off to the same folks as this morning. And they will isolate 3 lightning arrestors that they feel caused the problem, and then they'll bring the power back on about 1 hour later, hopefully. And we may be facing another outage either Saturday night, early Sunday morning, once they get the new equipment to take it back down and reinstall new lightning arrestors at that substation.
This morning went really good, thanks to all you and everybody that was involved. I'm sure phones were ringing off the hook. I know at least they were at the electric department. We were able to, we've been working for a couple of months putting a new system in place where we were looking into our process of outages, communication, as Mr. Woodford knows. And we had done a lot of work relative to that, upgrading our website, talking with 911 and the Emergency Management Agency, and anymore when we have something of that magnitude and it's going to be off for some duration of time, we send maps, GIS maps to EMA and Putnam County 911. They do a reverse 911. They call everybody's got a landline. And we got a lot of that information when we upgraded our website. So this morning went really smooth. Had Tyler Smith at my place probably for an hour, hour and a half of that outage duration, helping us. They shoot that out. Whatever message we send them, they'll send that out on all their social media. And I think what happened is once that message got out, the phone calls seemed to subside greatly. So it was a really good test for us. It worked. And along that line, I'm probably going to be sending out something in some of the future bills, maybe just a little flyer telling people what to do in the case of an outage, and hey, visit our website to get all this new information. And we've also had some magnets made that people can put on their refrigerators and stuff to tell them who to call, because the police department does have a priority number for electric calls during off-duty hours. And I want to get those magnets out there, but I've struggled with that because we wanted to do them in the bills, but they do that electronically, and if you put a magnet in there, you got to hand stuff each one of those bills, and then the magnets try to stick together. So we'll take any suggestions anybody's got about how to disperse those magnets out into the community. We're thinking about customer service, Chamber of Commerce, lots of other places. So any suggestions you got, get those to me, and we'll go from there.
Can folks register their cell phone to be notified, since so many people don't have home phones anymore?
That's a good point, Mayor. We've run into that through this process. Landlines are automatically get those kind of messages, the reverse 911 calls. Since so many people now don't use landlines and use cell phones, you've got to register your cell phone. You can register it by visiting Putnam County 911. It's a real easy process. Then you'll get all those notifications sent to your cell phone, or you can visit the City of Cookeville's website, click on the electric department, and you can register there as well.
That's great. Very good.
Put a link on our website.
Good public service announcement right there. Hope that gets out. That's great.
Rick will make sure that gets out one.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah.
Very good.
Any other questions?
I do have just a comment to make. I mean, I was I was one of the boots on the ground people at the hospital when all this went down, and just want to kind of let people know that I was pleased about how the hospital reacted and taking care of patients, and it's, I think when you think of places that where electricity goes down that are critical, you first of all think of a hospital, and the hospital went into an emergency mode very quickly after that time, and there were administrators all over the hospital floor making sure things were being done. There was a great amount of communication that was done between these administrators and the various city people that knew what was going on, and it went very well. And I'll tell you, for a time there, folks were a little bit concerned, because things start happening in a critical place like that. It's good to know. So things went very well. I wanted to, I guess, let folks know that, because so folks can have confidence in our hospital. They were ready for a situation like this, and they performed very well. Right.
Another thing I failed to mention, and it's part of the process we went through, we've identified pretty massive list of folks that we want a personal phone call to when something like this happens. We notify all of our industry, because those are the people that are generally calling us, wondering whether to send their people home. So we do a personal call, my folks do, to those, in addition to the reverse 911. And additionally, and probably most importantly, our critical customer list. That's customers of ours that have a need for some type of medical equipment. that requires electricity, we call those folks, and once everything's brought back on, we call those folks again to make sure, everything's cool. So, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly tend to take for granted blessings such as electricity until you don't have it. So, anyone else? All right, we'll be adjourned.